Hello Scapers, my name is Kaitios and thank you for clicking on the video. This video will show you how to train your melee stats prior to the Ice Dungeon update in April 2021, and it'll also showcase how to obtain a Skull Sceptre. Both of these topics are critical in preparing for training runecrafting from levels 84 all the way up to level 99. With that guys, let's get right into it. Withdraw a hammer and any rune bars you may have received from Bryophyta. If you haven't received at least 3 rune bars from her, you may either keep defeating her to get more, or you'll need to mine the rune ore in the deep wilderness. If you do mine the runite ore, please take every necessary precaution. Click on the anvil just south of the bank and make a rune axe and a rune scimitar. If you have more than 3 rune bars, feel free to also make a rune kite shield if you didn't receive it as a drop from Obor. Before we start training your melee skills in depth, it'll be of value to obtain the gold-colored decorative boots from the Castle Wars minigame. You may easily get to Castle Wars by utilizing the minigame teleport option in your interface. One pair of these boots cost 400 Castle Wars tickets in total and have the same stats of adamant boots. These are the best possible boots you can get currently in free-to-play, and they should prove useful to improve your defensive stats. You may either play regular Castle Wars games on World 383, which is the Castle Wars designated world, or you may receive the Castle Wars tickets much faster by boosting. I'm going to leave a link in the description to Tanner Dino's video on how to efficiently boost at Castle Wars, which earns you up to 12 tickets per hour. Though the method does use 4 total accounts, it's the quickest and easiest way to getting the gold decorative boots. Just a quick note, the new golem creatures on the Ice Dungeon update in April 2021 are likely going to be the most efficient way to train all your melee stats to level 99. I'll be making a guide on that once it comes out. However, if the golems are not the best method, you should train your melee stats at the flesh crawlers. Equip your full rune, an amulet of strength or power, your rune scimitar, and your gold decorative boots. Bring along a chisel and food also. The flesh crawlers are located in the southeasternmost room of the second floor of the Stronghold of Security. Make sure that your rune scimitar or rune sword is set to the slash option if possible, as the flesh crawlers are weak to that attack style. Upon entering, the flesh crawlers will be aggressive towards you for 10 minutes. After they have de-aggroed you, simply leave the area through the southwestern doors and re-enter to reset the flesh crawler aggression. Pick up any notable drops and ensure you pick up all the scepter pieces that they leave behind. Make sure you have at least 1 scepter bottom piece from the flesh crawler intact, but you may use your chisel on any duplicate piece to create 3 bone fragments. You'll train your melees here until you collect 15,983 scepter pieces or 47,949 total bone fragments once you have chiseled them down. You'll need the 47,949 bone fragments to charge a Skull Sceptre enough times for your 84 to 99 runecrafting grind. In order to make a Skull Sceptre, you're going to need the right skull half, which is dropped by the Minotaurs on the first level, the bottom scepter, which is dropped by the flesh crawlers on the second level, the top of the scepter, which is dropped by the Catablepons, which is on the third level, and the left skull half, which is dropped by the Ankous on the 4th level. I recommend using range to gather the 3 other scepter pieces if you need them. Equip your ranging gear and mithril or adamant arrows if you have them. The Minotaurs are located on the first floor at this area in the midwestern portion of the floor. If you don't care about training your melee stats and solely care about farming scepter pieces for bone fragments, you can actually get them much quicker at this Minotaur location. For the top scepter piece, you'll need to obtain them from the Catablepons on the 3rd floor of the Stronghold of Security. Travel to the middle room, and then they'll be just through the doors on the north. It's not recommended to use melee here, as the dinosaurs will weaken your melee stats. There is, however, a nice safe spot in the corner of the room where you won't take any damage. And as for the last scepter piece, you'll be going to a familiar place, which is back at the Ankous location. Only this time you'll defeat them much easily with your 99 ranged. Again, head all the way south, then west until you arrive back at the location on the 4th floor of the Stronghold. Simply shoot the Ankous and hide behind the safe spot of corpses. Again, pick up any notable drops, and after a while you should get the final piece of the Skull Sceptre. Head to the middle room on the final floor of the Stronghold of Security and bring all skull pieces that you have with you. In order to make the skull scepter, use the right skull half on the left skull half to make a strange skull. Then use the top scepter piece with the bottom scepter piece to make a rune scepter. Finally, use the strange skull with the rune scepter to make your skull scepter. We'll need to then imbue our skull scepter. To do this, click on the Cradle of Life and obtain a new fancy or fighting boots. Use your skull scepter on Solstin, go through his dialogue, and he'll imbue your scepter for you. Please note that you will need to have the RuneScape Authenticator active in order for Solstin to imbue the scepter. The imbued scepter is great as it won't break if you were to use up the 10 total teleport charges, which means you don't need to obtain all 4 scepter pieces again to remake it. Invoking the skull scepter will teleport you to the middle of the barbarian village, while divining the skull scepter will tell you how many charges are left on the skull scepter. Go ahead and chisel any duplicate pieces you have to turn them into bone fragments and make sure that you keep them safe in your bank. With that, this video is concluded. Thank you so much for making it through to the end of the video. Please be sure to clap that like button, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all my future content. I do stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook Gaming every Tuesday and Thursday, so please feel free to hop in and say hi. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!